everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Wednesday. How's your day going?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
My teeth cleaned this morning, and they hurt.
And they're a little achy?
Yeah, but...
I can do more of the talking today.
All right, good. Well, everybody is talking about this today. Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers has tested positive for COVID. Hear what his coach has to say about this latest development in Titletown.
Also, vaccines for kids are arriving in clinics and dispensaries around the country when your child can get their first dose.
And a former Raiders football player appears in court in connection with a fatal crash. It's revealed he was going more than 150 miles an hour.
But first at 4, it was news that rocketed today across the state.
Green Bay Packers quarterback Aaron Rodgers has COVID and is not going to play in this weekend's game against the Kansas City Chiefs. There is some doubt he'll be available to play against the Seahawks the week after that. But the bigger question still, without a confirmed answer, is Aaron Rodgers vaccinated? Reports from NFL Insider suggest the answer is no. Rodgers was asked that exact question during training camp in August, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, I've been immunized. You know, there's a lot of conversation around it, around the league, and a lot of guys who have made statements and I've made statements, owners who made statements. You know, there's guys on the team that haven't been vaccinated. I think it's a personal decision. I'm not going to judge those guys.
So has he or hasn't he, and what does being immunized mean to the quarterback?
Sports director Zach Hanley is here to try to help us sort all of this out. Hi, Zach.
Hey, well, how long do you have, right? When asked about it today, Matt LaFleur said that he couldn't comment on anyone's vaccination status and that Rodgers is in COVID protocol. Now, reports are that Rodgers tried an alternate treatment before the season, but the NFL said that didn't count as being vaccinated, which is why, as you said, he's out for at least 10 days. So the earliest he can be back is Saturday before the Seahawks game. It also means that he'd be fined if he gathered with teammates outside of team activities, which is what he did this past weekend at a Halloween costume party.
Nobody's going to feel sorry for us. And we all have to prepare to the best of our ability to go down there and get a win. And that's the mindset. I mean, they're not going to postpone or cancel the game. We have game to play. It's the next man up mentality. And that's how we've operated for everybody. I think our guys will rally around Jordan. We've got a lot of confidence in him.
So it's Jordan Love making his first career start this weekend against the Chiefs, and his backup is Blake Bortles, who they brought in today because backup quarterback or third-string quarterback Kurt Benkert tested positive for COVID earlier this week. And just in the last few minutes, the NFL said it's aware of the situation in Green Bay, and they are reviewing the matter with the Packers. So, Mark, get your arm loosened up.
Yeah,
They're going to need some arms for practice. This is just a mess.
So the protocol for the NFL is if you're not vaccinated, you get tested every day.
Yeah.
And Rodgers was tested and came back positive.
And now we know.
And we don't know if he has any symptoms or not.
No, and so that's the thing. If he has symptoms, it could be a little longer. The 10 days, it could be, you know, he has to be asymptomatic and he has to test negative twice in a 24-hour period.
Do you think he'll clear up the confusion about this, about what being immunized means, or is the NFL aware that he had permission to use a holistic protocol?
Well, the NFL is aware because they said that that didn't count as being vaccinated, but the next time we get to talk to him, which probably be 2 weeks, maybe, not this next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, if he's asymptomatic, that's when we get to talk to him, or that Wednesday. Hopefully he'll let us in on what is going on and be more clear.
Well, you don't often get a clear answer from Aaron Rodgers.
No, it's always
a little rambling sometimes. Yeah. Well, hope he feels better, and that's the important thing at this point.
Zach, thank you.
Let's check outside on this Wednesday. I think the trees have about peaked around here, but they're still
so pretty.
Still awfully pretty. A lot of leaves out there. Not quite as cool are the weather words. Dana's outside, and we're talking almost spring-like weather next week.
Yeah, we're going to warm right back on up, so we can't quite make up our mind where we want to sit at right now. We had some sunshine coming through today, made for a really nice afternoon. It is, of course, still chilly outside. but not quite as cool as we look ahead to the rest of your work week and even into the start of next week. Right now it's 43 in Madison with a calm breeze, dew points in the teens. So it's quite dry. This air dry for us throughout southern Wisconsin. Not concerned about any precipitation at all. Compared to this time yesterday, temperatures overall in a pretty similar spot, maybe just a degree or two cooler, but certainly feels the same. Our Doppler track has been quiet for us, still seeing some light flurries up towards the UP in northern Michigan, where there's just a little more cloud coverage, but of course we've been able to enjoy partly sunny skies today. For your Thursday, high temperatures climb closer to 50, variably cloudy skies. Again, not quite as cool, and that trend of adding just a few more degrees on each day will carry us into the weekend and the start of next week. As far as traffic conditions go right now, thankfully no accidents to report in Dane County. For the Beltline eastbound, we are seeing a few slowdown spots. Westbound actually looks pretty smooth for us this evening. And in Rock County, downtown Janesville, all is good. And the interstate north and southbound through Rock County looks good for us right now. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes. Middleton to Sauk City, 16 minutes. And downtown to Sun Prairie, 17 minutes this evening. We'll take a closer look at your full 10-day in just a few.
All right, Dana, thank you. Prosecutors at Kyle Rittenhouse's murder trial today played video for the jury that captured scenes of protesters and the sound of gunfire in the street. They began detailing the night last year that Rittenhouse shot 3 people, 2 fatally, during a tumultuous demonstration against police brutality. One of the videos live streamed that night by social media influencer Kerry Washington shows Rittenhouse running through the frame carrying a fire extinguisher.
So what was it that drew your attention to him at this point in the video?
There wasn't much happening at the time. It was fairly calm. You know, you see most of the people are kind of just standing around and stuff like that by this point. So to see someone running, you know, I suppose it could have been anyone that ran by me. I would have been intrigued by it, but remembering kind of, you know, in my head. And he had a fire extinguisher as well, so maybe there's a fire or something happening. Maybe he's going to extinguish a fire or something like that. So.
Rittenhouse, a one-time police youth cadet who was 17 at the time of the shootings, could get life in prison if convicted.
Officials in Rock County are investigating as a meme comparing a high school football game to an image of slavery circulates on social media. The image purportedly came from a September 17th football game between Parker High School in Janesville and Milton High School, in which Milton won 17-0. It shows a Milton player who appears to be white standing over a black Parker player. Below the image from a football game is an historical image of a white person whipping a black person. In a statement, the Milton School District condemned the post, which they said was made by a local student. Milton school officials said neither student in the photo was involved in the creation of the meme. UW-Madison police are referring hate crime charges against a man following an incident 2 weeks ago. On October 16th, a UW student was walking home from the Nicholas Recreation Center when an unknown man approached him. That's when 34-year-old Gary Stevens slapped the victim's phone from his hand and uttered a racial slur used toward people of Asian descent. On October 30th, Stevens was arrested on separate charges.
Children around the country have begun receiving Pfizer's low-dose COVID-19 vaccine after the CDC recommended emergency use authorization late yesterday. Some 28 million children are eligible for the vaccine. Pfizer's study found it is 91% effective in preventing symptoms in kids ages 5 to 11, and the side effects were mild. The dose is 1/3 the amount given to teens and adults.
They absolutely hit that sweet spot at this dose.
Walgreens and CVS are starting kids' vaccinations at some of their pharmacies this weekend, getting the supply as local as possible to make it easy for parents and kids to access the shot. Healthcare providers here in Wisconsin got the approval they needed today for the children's vaccine.
Eric Franke is in the newsroom now and joins us with more on all this. Eric.
A lot of parents have been waiting for this moment, Mark and Susan, and the Department of Health Services signed off on Pfizer's vaccine for children ages 5 to 11 this afternoon. State officials say the vaccine is safe and will protect children from long-term COVID symptoms.
This is a huge step forward in our fight against COVID-19. And we here in Wisconsin are thrilled to be able to offer a safe and effective vaccine for younger kids. As a father, I look forward to my kids joining the hundreds of thousands of other Wisconsin children who've already gotten their COVID-19 vaccine.
Providers, UW Health among the healthcare providers that received its first shipment of the children's vials today. SSM Health got its first boxes last night, which can be stored in regular refrigeration for up to 10 weeks. Shots there could start to go into arms tonight.
As early as tomorrow, we will begin to give the vaccine to this age group. As a matter of fact, we could begin actually giving the vaccine, maybe just a small number of doses yet this evening.
Now, SSM says it plans on hosting mobile clinics after school hours at local elementary schools. Parents will need to provide consent for their children to get a shot. Now, SSM says you can also schedule through your MyChart or call its vaccine line. That's 608-250-1222. They'll have pediatric vaccine clinics starting this weekend. Parents will need to schedule an appointment for that. Mark?
Eric, thank you. Former Las Vegas Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs made his first court appearance today in connection with a crash that killed a 23-year-old woman and her dog. Prosecutors say Ruggs was traveling at 156 miles per hour and had a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit in Nevada when he crashed his Corvette into the back of a Toyota RAV4, causing it to burst into flames and trapping the woman inside. Ruggs' girlfriend was in the car with him at the time and suffered injuries in the crash. If convicted on a charge of DUI causing death, Ruggs faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison.
The Supreme Court justices today listened to arguments in a gun control case. It is the first major gun control case they've listened to in more than a decade. The justices seemed inclined to rule against a New York law which says self-defense is not enough to receive a concealed carry permit. People need to prove a special need to be permitted.
Why isn't it good enough to say I live in a violent area and I want to be able to defend myself?
How is that consistent with the core right to self-defense, which is protected by the Second Amendment?
The justices also questioned New York's practice of giving more licenses in rural areas compared to city centers like Manhattan. The attorney for the men challenging the law says he is not challenging the ability to prohibit guns in special places like churches or schools.
It's been nearly a week since President Biden introduced his revamped Build Back Better package, and Congress has yet to act on it. President Biden returned home from Europe to little movement on his revised $1.75 trillion social spending bill for universal pre-K and the child tax credit, nor the roughly $1 trillion bipartisan bill to fix the country's physical infrastructure. But there is one bright spot. The Democrats have reached a deal to lower the price of prescription drugs as part of the legislation, capping out-of-pocket Medicaid costs at $2,000 and reducing the price of insulin. Later on in this newscast, we'll look further into the results of that election with Marquette Law School's Charles Franklin, the election in Virginia, along with the results of his latest poll that shows some problems for Governor Tony Evers and Senator Ron Johnson.
Standardized school test results are in, and they show the pandemic and lockdowns took a toll. Our Chris Stanford has this week's Eye on Education.
Today we're looking at math results pre-pandemic compared to last spring. They're from the Forward exam, which tests 3rd through 8th graders and 10th graders. You'll remember state testing in 2020 was canceled. We're going to look at Madison, Middleton Cross Plains, Sun Prairie, and Verona. This change shows the number of students who were at least proficient in math this year versus 2019. As you can see, the numbers are way down across the board. When you look at these numbers, though, you need to consider this. Participation was also down this spring, and if the student doesn't take the test, that hurts the proficiency score. You can see, though, here, scores dropped more than the participation rates. The State Department of Public Instruction wants everyone to consider the circumstances.
When we look at these assessment results, we must remember the challenges our students encountered this past school year. These were extraordinary circumstances that caused a lot of instability and impacted individuals and communities in different ways.
Now, the results certainly don't paint the entire picture, but it does give us an idea of how the pandemic impacted learning. DPI says the results are one factor districts can consider to adjust. I'm Chris Stanford. Back to you.
Chris, thank you. Well, still to come at 4, the art of writing an obituary, and it is an art.
It certainly is. George Hesselberg, formerly of the Wisconsin State Journal, began his career writing obits. He's out with a new book. Best title we've seen in a long time. Deadlines, Slices of Life from the Obit Beat. We'll talk to George when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Have you seen those small
careful
poles?
with
the... Sorry, Missy.
Excuse me, could we...
Excuse me, I was wondering, could we...
Finding the right person for the job isn't always easy. But when you have an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can give you personalized advice and could help you save hundreds.
Who wants some dress shirts?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, get to know your local Geico agent today.
I felt awful because of my psoriasis. I was covered from head to toe with it. It really hurt. Then I started Cosentix. That was 4 years ago. How are you? See me.
Cosentix works fast to give you clear skin that can last. Real people with psoriasis look and feel better with Cosentix. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentix. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections, some serious, and the lowered ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor about an infection or symptoms, or if you've had a vaccine or plan to. Tell your doctor if your Crohn's disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions may occur.
I look and feel better.
Ask your dermatologist if Cosentix could help you move past the pain of psoriasis.
Here's the secret worth sharing. Robertson, Wisconsin's aesthetic leader, has nurses that specialize in custom treatment plans. Always natural, never overfilled. Schedule your complimentary consultation now. It's time to learn how aging is different at Robertson.
Oh, baby, I have sinned. Baby, this is my last confession. You know I've never been no good. But when I'm with you, it feels like heaven. I'm begging for mercy, baby. Yeah.
So, what do you think?
I love it.
Those brave men and women of our armed forces, generations of them. Why should today's burdens fall back onto them? They were there for us. Now let's be there for them. Your local Wisconsin energy providers and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund are working together to deliver Wisconsin veterans in crisis heat, power, and help staying in their home. But they can't do it alone. Call to donate today.
I have worked at Huffcore for the last 36 years.
Huffcore closing the plant, moving production to Mexico.
I gave my life and my body to that place. Ron Johnson pushed through a tax law that rewards outsourcing. Companies can bring profits back from Mexico tax-free. And worse, Ron Johnson profited personally from outsourcing. He has doubled his wealth since taking office. Tell Ron Johnson to stop putting his profits above our jobs.
Welcome back. Many shoppers are already buying gifts for the holidays.
And a lot of the shopping is done online, but many products, including toys, may be counterfeit. A 2019 report found counterfeit and pirated goods have rapidly grown in the internet era, and they make up more than 3% of all global trade. Congress is now considering legislation called the Inform Act, designed to combat the sale of counterfeit goods online. Amazon, Etsy, and eBay are all endorsing the House version of the bill. All of those companies are members of the Internet Association.
We recognize the responsibility and the important role we play in the ecosystem in stopping this activity.
The legislation's chance of passing is improving now that it has support from businesses and both parties.
Stocks continue to set records all around on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials added 104 points, closing at 36,157. The NASDAQ gained 161 points. The S&P 500 was up nearly 30. Well, the Marquette Law School poll released the results of a new statewide survey today.
It looked at state politics 1 year before the 2022 elections for governor and U.S. senator in Wisconsin.
And it comes on the heels of last night's pivotal elections in Virginia and New Jersey. Charles Franklin is the director of the Marquette Law School poll. Welcome back to the program.
Hi, Charles.
Good to be here. Good to see you.
Let's start with the local results. It doesn't look good for sitting politicians.
No, I think you could call this a grumpy electorate. We asked about 7 different politicians, and all 7 of them were a little bit more negative than positive, or a lot more negative than positive. None of them were in net positive territory. That's the first time in 67 polls that everybody we've asked about has been net negative.
Democrats and Republicans.
Yeah, let's take a look at Governor Evers' job approval rating. You asked about that.
Yeah, on his job approval, that's down 5 points from where he was in August. On favorability, 42 have a favorable view of him, 45 an unfavorable view. So again, just a little bit net negative for him on both of those measures.
And how about if the election were held today?
Well, that's sort of tricky news. We asked if the election were today, would you vote to re-elect Tony Evers or would you vote for someone else? 40% would vote to re-elect. 53% would vote for someone else, and 6% say they don't know. It's important to say that when you ask about or someone else, people can imagine the most wonderful possible opponent, and a real human won't live up to that. But that 40% sets a hard baseline level of support for Evers, and then as real candidates emerge, we'll see how he adds to that base of support or not.
And the news is not much better for Senator Ron Johnson, who hasn't yet announced if he's running or not.
Exactly, and it's almost the same. 38% would re-elect Johnson, 52% would vote for someone else, and 10% don't know. This is surprising a little bit because we're so polarized to see incumbents of opposite parties getting almost exactly the same support. You might expect that if one's at 40, the other might be at 60, but that's not the case. I think this reflects the bit of negative sentiment towards politicians of both parties at this point.
Again, it is surprising that both Republicans and Democrats are down.
It is. Now, they're both very popular within their parties. They're both very unpopular with the other party. But what's really pulling them down is that independents at this point are not especially strong supporters of either Evers or of Johnson. Now, as a year ahead of the election, anything can change in that time. We're not making a prediction here, but it does show that these two potential candidates, incumbents, do face some challenges, a difficult electoral landscape right now.
Let's talk about the elections last night in Virginia and New Jersey. Still too close to call in New Jersey in that governor's race. What happened in Virginia?
Well, these are both states that Joe Biden won pretty solidly. So to see them flip in Virginia and too close to call in New Jersey, no matter which way that turns out, is a big drop-off in Democratic support. I think the Virginia race is really interesting because of the preview it gives us of Republican politicians in a post-Trump period. Youngkin appealed to the Trump base. He adopted many of their issues or Trump's issues, but he kept Trump at arm's length, didn't campaign with him, didn't welcome his support in any way. I think if you think of who's the next generation of Republican leaders and how do they navigate this difficulty of a Republican base that still adores Donald Trump, but the path to victory in Virginia was paved by keeping him at arm's length. That's a really interesting change in the party and its effectiveness this time in a state that's been trending pretty solidly Democratic.
It's going to be an interesting year, to say the least. We'll see plenty of you, Charles, I'm sure.
No doubt.
All right. Have a great day. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Charles. Great to see you.
Well, for some people, all they want for Christmas... Let's see, what do they want for Christmas? All they want for Christmas is not hearing that Mariah Carey song.
Jeannie Mose looks at the extreme measures that a Texas bar is taking to keep Mariah bottled up this season. That's coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
Listen up, everybody, here are our segment rules, right?
That's right. Segment rules and rules for the holiday. What is your favorite, Emmy?
Ooh, no pouting allowed. It's a joyous season, people.
I like be nice, not naughty.
Ooh.
I think those are rules to live for all the time.
If you can't catch our theme here, I mean, we're ready to deck your halls. You better be ready to deck your own halls, right?
Yes, I think so. I think now is the time to come in and see what we've got and think about what your plans are for the holiday. A little bit fun this year.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
A little whimsy this year.
I like it.
We're sitting here in front of the Great Wall of Old World. We have almost 600 different ornaments, so whatever the interest is of the person you're looking for a gift for, we probably got it.
Great ways to spruce up your pots or a little hostess gift.
Yeah, this is super cool. We've had this for a couple years. These are sort of some natural accents, eucalyptus, some pine cones, some little colorful things, and this would look great in a vase. You could put it in a pot by your front door. You could put it in a basket. They last really long, and we've got several styles. Super easy, all coordinated for you.
I love it. Mark your calendars. The beginning of November, Ladies' Night.
Yes, so November 4th, that's a Thursday, from 3 until 6 is our Ladies' Night. We'll have some specials. We'll have some activities going on. We do a great raffle for charity, and all the proceeds go to the Dane County Humane Society, which is a really good charity. And then the rest of the weekend we spend on our open house, so Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Good time to come in, look at the trees, and get some ideas and some help.
They have beautified their space here. Lisa has worked hard. You've literally been sleeping on this couch.
I'm covered with glitter. It's awesome.
Thank you for watching. Hope to see you at Ladies' Night. I'm Emmy Fink.
I'm Lisa Briggs.
And you're buzzed into
Madison.
Here at TSR, we transform old, cracked concrete floors into beautiful, tough floors in just one day. Hi. I'm Joey with TSR Concrete Coatings, and here at TSR, we don't just simply coat over your old concrete. We grind it down, repair it, apply the base coat and chip, and then seal it with our own proprietary sealant that will never chip or peel. All of our coatings are covered by our exclusive lifetime warranty, so you can rest assured that your beautiful new floor will last. Our awesome team is here to answer all of your questions before and after the installation. And right now, we are offering 15% off your new floor coating until the end of the year. Visit the website or call that number below for your new floor today.
TSR, one day floor. Call 1-800-886-8411.
Take a look at this. Check out this blue cave underneath a little Greek island. One of the women in the boat actually takes off her glasses to make sure the stunning colors are real. Carpe Destination captures the marvelous cave tour on camera. The best time to see the effect is early in the morning when the sun is low. The rays enter the cave, causing the blue water to reflect off the ceiling.
That is beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Isn't it? Wow.
Put that on the bucket list.
Yeah.
Dana, what do you think?
Very cool.
Yeah, it just reflects of the water.
That's awesome.
It's got to be blue water, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there has to be a certain degree of clarity.
We have blue skies.
We do. We don't have the blue water right now. I wouldn't recommend jumping in the lake unless you're a really big fan of the cold water. Temperature-wise, we're at 43 right now with sunset right around the corner. Again, a blue sky today, a few clouds hanging out as we look ahead to the next few days. Might see a little more cloud coverage built in for tomorrow, but we'll take a closer look at the 10-day right after the break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Sheesh Raval with the Ortho Team Clinic at Stoughton Health. We hope you can join us for our upcoming event on shoulder pain relief.
Family is just very important.
She's my sister, and we depend on each other a lot.
She's the rock of the family. She's the person who holds everything together.
It's a battle, you know, I'm gonna be there.
Keytruda and chemotherapy been treating my cancer with 2 different types of medicine.
In a clinical trial, Keytruda and chemotherapy was proven to help people live longer than chemotherapy alone. Keytruda is used to treat more patients with advanced lung cancer than any other immunotherapy. Keytruda may be used with certain chemotherapies as your first treatment. If you have advanced non-squamous non-small cell lung cancer and you do not have an abnormal EGFR or ALK gene, Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer, but can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst, or urine, confusion or memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching, or flushing. These are not all the possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant, had or plan to have a stem cell transplant, or have had radiation to your chest area or a nervous system condition.
It feels good to be here for them.
Living longer is possible. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. Ask your doctor about Keytruda.
Tackle tough jobs with Bosch power tools and accessories from Menards. From the workshop to the job site, Bosch packs the performance and features you need to get the job done right. That's why Bosch is the choice of pros. Choose from our great selection of over 500 in-stock Bosch tools, bits, blades, and accessories. Get 11% off all Bosch tools and accessories right now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
I love being an orthopedic surgeon because I can help people improve their lives. My name is Ashish Raval. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. My specialty is sports medicine, focusing specifically on the care of the shoulder, hip, and knee.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Oh, we're definitely into sweater weather now. A jacket certainly necessary to go outside, or if you have a nice sweater, then you might be okay in the sunshine. 43 currently in Madison. This is a little bit below average, not too cold just yet, but we've been sitting in this cooler spot. So over the next few days, when we watch our temperatures climb up a little bit more, it might start to feel a little warm outside. To the north right now, still seeing those light flurries rotating around. We saw that yesterday as well, but nothing for us in southern Wisconsin. In fact, we are dry, we are sunny, and we are steadily going to warm up, and we'll feel a little more like spring as we look ahead to the start of next week. Tomorrow won't be quite as cool outside. We'll add on a few more degrees. This weekend and most of next week will stay pretty mild for our afternoon high temperatures, and in general, dry weather expected all the way through the weekend. The start of next week, it's not until Wednesday now, the system backing up just a little bit, that we'll start to see our next opportunity for some light rain showers to build into the area. Temperatures overnight expected to drop for us a little bit with variably cloudy skies early in the day, close to freezing, just below freezing for overnight lows. For your Thursday afternoon, variably cloudy, meaning a little more cloud coverage than sunshine. High temperatures will be in the mid to upper 40s, so pretty close to average for this time of year. Friday, yet again, continuing on that milder trend for the end of the week, near freezing early in the day, but our breeze is coming from the south, so our high temperatures climbing up just a little bit more in the mid to low 50s for afternoon highs. This warm trend still quite likely in our 6 to 10 day outlook, but notice how it's starting to shift off to the east. So we're watching that warmer weather pull away by the middle of next week. Towards the end of next week, starting to get maybe just a little closer to average, not quite as mild outside. Our rain trend above average in our 6 to 10 day. That's due to some rain chances expected to build in for the back half of next week. It's a little more soggy outside. Could even hear a few rumbles of thunder coming through. Temperatures tomorrow in the upper 40s, fairly close to average, not quite as cool as today, but we'll have variably cloudy skies. Because of that cloud coverage, temperatures really throughout southern Wisconsin should hold pretty steady. Friday in the low 50s, our wind speeds picking up for Friday and Saturday. A little breezy outside for us for both days. Temperatures by Sunday and Monday, though, near 60 degrees. So yeah, a little more spring-like for us. We get a nice extra hour of sleep on Sunday for next week. Sunshine to start off the week. Our next opportunity for rain starts to build in late Wednesday, and that's where it's going to stay with us or into the back half of the work week. More of a soggy trend with scattered showers. The possibility for thunderstorms in the afternoon, and then at night as temperatures get into the 30s, we could see a little bit of mixed precipitation on all of those days. We won't say the scary S word just yet because afternoon highs are still warm enough, but some mix possible for us heading into next weekend.
It's borrowed time at this point.
We are.
It's going to get here soon, yes.
We should all take a guess on when we think the first snowfall will be.
When's the average? Like not till like the 27th or something?
It's towards the end of the month.
Yeah.
Now we usually see flurries, but as far as like actual 1 inch of accumulation towards the end of the month, we can start a big old bingo board.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna pick February 16th.
You wish.
All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, a Texas bar is giving Mariah Carey's Christmas hit the silent treatment.
Is it too soon for the Christmas classic? Well, Mariah doesn't think so, but the bar does.
Jeannie Mose has more.
When Mariah Carey sings, some want a lot less of this song, which explains why a self-described dive bar in Dallas put up a sign on their jukebox that has Mariah fans up in arms. Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You will be skipped if played before December 1st. After December 1st, the song is only allowed one time a night.
I don't hate Mariah Carey and I don't hate Christmas.
But the general manager of Stone Lee P says customers play Mariah's mega hit too often and too soon before Christmas. So the staff is on high alert.
Once we hear those twinkles, we run for the remote. It's really just a button that we press skip.
To skip Mariah long before she gets to the title. Fans are outraged if I see that sign, but amazingly, it's never been defaced and they've put it up for a couple of years. Some were defiant. I will be streaming it 1 million times this Christmas season and the next 2. Even Mariah herself reacted. Watch the bar manager's eyes when we tell her that.
No!
Yes. Someone posted, "Is this the war on Christmas?" And Mariah responded with herself in armor, ready to do battle. She also posted a video of herself destroying the knot in It's Not Time. It's time for Mariah's favorite season, Christmas. But plenty of commenters supported limiting the song to 1 play per night, noting this needs to apply to all Christmas songs and become a constitutional amendment. The bar manager says it's really just a joke, meant to be funny. Is not this Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
That's funny.
It is funny.
Now listen, I am putting the lights up on my house.
I was going to say, your lights up yet already?
Not yet, but before Thanksgiving, which I know always makes your head explode if I turn them on before Thanksgiving.
And when's the tree going up?
That's a good question. Soon. I don't know. It's been such a hard year.
We enjoyed your tree so much last year when you were at home.
Yeah, that's right.
During
that's
the
right.
lockdown.
When I was broadcasting from the kitchen table.
The lights changed. The colors.
Yeah,
very
right.
festive. All right, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on the inside. It's true. If you have diabetes, you know high blood sugar is the root of the problem, but that excess sugar can cause the blood vessels to be seriously damaged. And when that happens, this could happen: vision loss or even blindness. That's right. Diabetic retinopathy is a leading cause of blindness for adults in the U.S. But even though you can't see it, there is something you can do about it. Remember this: now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is an incredibly important part of your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Just say to yourself, "Now I see." Then go see an eye care specialist. Visit nowic.com to get the facts about diabetes, your eyes, and what you can do next to take control of your sight. Brought to you by Regeneron.
Everyone remembers the moment they heard, "You have cancer," how their world stopped, and when they found a way to face it. For some, this is where their Keytruda story begins. Keytruda, a breakthrough immunotherapy that may treat certain cancers. One of those cancers is advanced melanoma, which is a kind of skin cancer where Keytruda may be used. when your melanoma has spread or cannot be removed by surgery.
Keytruda helps your immune system fight cancer, but can also cause your immune system to attack healthy parts of your body. This can happen during or after treatment and may be severe and lead to death. See your doctor right away if you have cough, shortness of breath, chest pain, diarrhea, severe stomach pain or tenderness, severe nausea or vomiting, headache, light sensitivity, eye problems, irregular heartbeat, extreme tiredness, constipation, dizziness or fainting, changes in appetite, thirst or urine, confusion or memory problems, muscle pain or weakness, fever, rash, itching or flushing. These are not all the possible side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medical conditions, including immune system problems, or if you've had an organ transplant, had or plan to have a stem cell transplant, or have had radiation to your chest area or a nervous system condition.
Today, Keytruda is FDA approved to treat 16 types of advanced cancer and is being studied in hundreds of clinical trials, exploring ways to treat even more types of cancer. It's true. Keytruda from Merck. See the different types of cancer Keytruda is approved to treat at Keytruda.com and ask your doctor if Keytruda can be part of your story.
Tonight at 5, anti-Asian hate rears its ugly head again as a Madison man is now accused of a hate crime against a UW student.
After a chilly day today, temperatures will start to go up by a few degrees each day. By Sunday and Monday, temperatures should be back to around 60 degrees. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, could last night's governor's race in Virginia raise concerns for Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers next fall? We'll talk about it tonight on News 3 Now at 6. Well, climate change is topping the agenda for world leaders in Scotland this week.
International scientists are digging deep for clues about how to save the planet.
Ian Lee has more from London.
Locked away in a freezer at the University of Copenhagen is a library, but not of the literary variety.
We can see little pebbles.
By analyzing soil trapped under Greenland's ice sheet for thousands of years, scientists want to answer some important questions.
What was different about Earth's climate system at those times versus today, and what does that tell us about how sensitive Greenland is to melting in the future?
Researchers hope by reading the core samples, they'll better understand the past.
These packages of soil, these cores, are like time capsules from the past.
Before people affected the climate.
So if we want to see the natural state of climate and natural variability, then we need to go way, way further back in time. And our archives provide this window into the past.
Stacked end to end, the volumes of rock and ice stretch more than 12 miles. Some date back to a U.S. Army polar expedition in the 1960s.
It was lost in a freezer for decades.
The samples give a guide, which researchers say shows how the Earth works.
If you add too much carbon to the atmosphere, it's going to get too warm. You're going to melt the ice sheets. You're going to change weather patterns, and it's going to make life very difficult for us as humans.
Or scientists say we could take a different path, one with fewer greenhouse gases and the best shot at a cleaner future. Ian Lee, CBS News.
It's estimated that the frozen island of Greenland contains enough ice to make world sea levels rise by 20 feet if it were all to melt.
That's a lot.
That's something to think about.
It is. Still to come before, George Hesselberg, former State Journal reporter, joins us.
We're going to talk about his new book, Deadlines, Slices of Life from the Obit Beat, when Live at 4 continues. We'll talk to George when we come back.
One of our favorite Portage families here at the Portage Furniture Store, the Ayers family, that has grown a little bit since, yeah, he says high five. That's right. Since the last time we were here.
We sure have. Austin and I, proud third-generation owners, and now we're working on our fourth generation. We've seen generations of customers come through, and I think we take a lot of joy in seeing, hey, my parents bought from your dad, or bought from your uncles, or bought from your grandpa, and now Austin and I get to enjoy that ourselves.
How much fun is it on the days you come back into town and the three of you are together?
It's very special. Like I said, the longevity from when my dad and uncle started in 1940 to now, very special.
We're very, very proud to showcase predominantly American-made brands and companies that we've worked with for a very long time. We have a number of great lines, including Serta mattresses, Smith Brothers, Flex Steel, Lazy Boy, and England.
And not everyone has the Ayers last name, but everybody here, I know you guys consider family.
Yeah, we really have some wonderful people here, including, two salespeople, Rosie and Punky, who have been here with us from the very beginning, and we're really thankful for them.
Yeah, they really make you guys, they're the ones who make you all look good.
Yeah, they are.
No doubt.
And we need all the help we can get.
Yeah, well, he said it. I did. What are some of the biggest things that sets you guys apart?
The free delivery. Yeah.
They still got it. I was wondering.
We do.
Glad to hear it.
And on top of a first-class free delivery service, we're very proud of our huge selection of top-name brand furniture at guaranteed low prices.
Well, with the free delivery, we've got a lot of stops, but I'm glad you're helping me. From the Portage Furniture Store, I'm Emmy Fink, and you're buzzed into Madison. He's excited.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
No traffic delays really for us for downtown Madison, but we are seeing a few brake lights, of course, on the eastbound side. Slowdowns extending as you get closer to Monona and then picking back up a little bit by the interstate. Westbound, no delays all the way through Middleton, and 12 and Highway 14 do look good once you get past Middleton. Janesville, a few construction spots, but otherwise downtown should be smooth, and the interstate, north and southbound, looks good for us this evening. From the Beltline to Janesville, 25 minutes, 17 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, and downtown to Sun Prairie, 18 minutes this evening. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Jana, thank you. Even though this might fall squarely in the category of things no one asked for, ice cream company Salt and Straw is offering Thanksgiving flavored ice creams. You can have your entire Thanksgiving meal in frozen creamy form by ordering caramelized turkey and cranberry sauce ice cream and Parker House rolls with salted buttercream. How about a sweet potato pie flavor? The company will ship all 5 flavors to your home in its 5-pint Friendsgiving series. Double check with your cardiologist before enjoying an entire meal of ice cream. And if you get the A-OK, get a second opinion.
So that'll sound delicious.
Turkey ice cream.
Maybe not the turkey one, yeah.
Well, obituaries are more than just reports of the dead. They're written celebrations of a person's life.
Few know this better than one of Madison's best newspaper writers for more than 4 decades, George Hesselberg.
George's favorite obituaries from his 42-year career at the Wisconsin State Journal are collected in his new book, Deadlines, Slices of Life from the Obit Beat. George joins us from his home in Madison. George, great to see you.
Yeah, thanks. Nice to be here.
First of all, best book title ever.
That's really, it is. We love it.
So let's go back to 1972. You're a cub reporter. Writing the obits was a big deal.
Right. There were several of us, all cub reporters, all students working part-time. All we did all day was take phone calls from funeral directors wanted the obits in the paper, and that was it. And that's all we did. So I had a pretty good ground in writing obits and making sure they were accurate, things spelled right, and that sort of thing, because you can only do an obit once. No, right. That's just the way to do that. But yeah, I've been writing obits since the day I started, and that evolved into just looking for good stories about people who die.
They are fascinating stories. Even to this day, I still enjoy reading obits and learning about people. And you were really drawn to the unknown and the unsung among us.
That's correct. I've written hundreds and hundreds of obits, but I also look for the unsung and the characters who didn't know they were characters. They were you get a little bit of a hint at what they are, and then you try to track down a story. And in my case, as a day-to-day news reporter, as you know, you have to write them on deadline, and that's what I did. And I wrote these. I put 40 years into this book, so that's, you can put it that way.
People like
unusual ones, and they're they stick out, and after you read them, you'll understand why.
You wrote about a sword designer and a pig named Hamlet.
But people like Simon Sparrow too. Simon Sparrow. Let's hear about that one.
Simon Sparrow was a very well-known visage. His countenance was very well known in Madison and downtown, but his background and what he did was he was an outlier artist who just created fantastic large artworks out of common everyday materials. And he was also kind of a proselytizer and a prophet, and gave lots of sermons down on campus too. Plus he was a really nice guy.
Interesting. Right. How about Elmer Cox? Tell us about him.
Elmer Cox was a hearing aid salesman and an expert on the copyright of the song "Happy Birthday." How about that?
Wow.
He also rattled cages about making sure you fly your flag correctly, and he loved to share his opinion on things. And he was also actually a pretty nice guy. He was a little prickly on the topic of happy birthday, though.
Interesting.
Let's move on to Jody Sampson.
Jody Sampson, New Glarus, he was the guy who designed Conan the Barbarian's sword. And he set up shop in New Glarus making swords. He was a kind of a guy who kept to himself and was just an excellent craftsman. He called the sword cuttings dragon's dust, is what he called them. He was a very interesting guy.
Yeah, I did a story with him too.
You did?
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did.
Wow, that's a great picture.
Very nice guy.
And you wrote obits for a lot of animals, actually.
Well, yeah.
Tell us about Hamlet.
Hamlet was a pot-bellied pig. Everybody knows Jimmy the Groundhog, correct?
Yeah.
Well, Jimmy the Groundhog, the Cottage Grove, as a competitor to Sun Prairie, their Lions Club created Hamlet the pig for Groundhog's Day to compete with Jimmy. And they would have a dinner or breakfast every year on that weekend as competition. Well, Hamlet died, and I wrote his obit. He was very popular with schools where the principal always says, well, if you don't do this or if you do this, I'll kiss a pig. And they'd bring Hamlet in to be the pig that the principal kissed. A very popular job. So
42 years of obits all in one book, the best of, deadlines. George, thanks for being with us today.
Oh, a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
I wish we had so much more time. We could hear stories all afternoon.
We could go all afternoon,
George,
absolutely.
It's so great to see you. Congratulations on the book.
Thank you very much. You guys have a good day.
Continue good health. Thank you. You too. We'll be right back with the final check of your forecast coming up.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the exhibition hall at the Alliant Energy Center, Madison.
You call me devious, but you don't understand that all I am is a little mysterious.
So what do you think?
I love it.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. Today, the Coopers are a cost-conscious couple. But back in the day, not so much. Now, saving is more their style, which is why they chose Consumer Cellular. They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. And award-winning customer service. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and get $100.
What makes new Salonpas Arthritis Gel so good for arthritis pain? Salonpas contains the most prescribed topical pain relief ingredient. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation, and comes in original prescription strength. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only. Rows and rows of spas, hot tubs, and swim spas. The largest display in the state. Save up to 60% on all in-stock models. This weekend only in the exhibition hall at the Alliant Energy Center, Madison.
Over 28 million children, 5 to 11, are now eligible for the Pfizer vaccine nationwide. Tonight at 5, we find out from SSM Health how they plan to distribute it. And anti-Asian hate rears its ugly head again as a Madison man is accused of a hate crime.
News 3 Now's Call for Action has settled hundreds of area consumer disputes, but we can't do it without our dedicated team of volunteers. Would you like to join us? Contact Call for Action by phone or visit channel3000.com to fill out an application now.
Right now it is 43. We have a little bit of sun still left in the sky, and as we look ahead to tomorrow, it won't be quite as cool outside. High temperatures will be in the upper 40s. This weekend and most of next week, it'll feel a little more spring-like. Temperatures will climb back into the 50s, and we're planning on those high temps by next week. Could see the 60s a few times. Dry weather all the way to next Tuesday until our next rain opportunity will build back into the area. A little bit of a soggy trend expected as we look ahead to the end of next week. Could see a little bit of mixed precipitation, but not too concerned about that converting over to anything messy just yet for us, guys.
All right.
Thanks.
It's November.
I know.
It's coming. All right, Dana. Tomorrow on Live at 4. If you have a pet medical question, here's your chance for free advice.
Veterinarian Carrie Donahue from Full Circle Holistic Veterinary Care will join us. We'll be taking your calls live. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.